Hello everybody, this is Glenda with Fralins and Friends, and I welcome any of you who are new. Please subscribe and click that notification button. We keep it positive here, but if you watched our intro, you know that, so I'm not going to lecture. Guess what I got? We have a request for a ghost and we have a request for a haunted house. I am going to do them separately, but what do you think of that? This is just a start, and I don't know if you can even see it. I don't think you can. But if you can, that's where my start is. And okay, so the broken body is at the bottom of the steps, and the ghostly figure is not going to not resemble her, but it's just going to, it's going to have some features. Oh! There's the other towel. My feet. I have been painting and talking, and I had you, didn't even have you on. This is our victim. And she has fallen down these stairs. She may have been forcibly pushed. We don't know. Right now I'm trying to figure out bone structure when the, for these broken bones. And I'm not giving myself an easy time of it. I thought I had you turned on. But I gave her blonde hair because dark hair just wouldn't show up as well. But her neck is broken, and so she does have a pool of blood here, and there's some in her hair. And I'm breaking it like a Halloween break, not just like a closed break. And the green, I didn't realize it had that sheen to it. It's kind of nice, but I don't know, I already did it, so it is. No sense trying to change my mind now. I might let it dry and then put a little blood in there. So I'm thinking maybe she had a party and this was a, really sparkly dress. So I gotta fix these bones. Our wrist bones, if you feel your wrist, well, it depends on how, but when you're turning it like this, you can tell if you're feeling it that it's not all one, like if you feel up here, where it's not so fleshy, you can pretty much make out your humerus. Anyway, your wrist bones are, they're smaller bones. They're like this, and that's what allows you to do this. You couldn't do that with you. I mean, you could turn them this way because of the other hinge joints, but radius and ulna, yeah. Humerus, radius, ulna, femur, tibia, and fibula. Okay, that part's in my head now. I don't know that it matters to you, but with me breaking her bones, we need to know how they should be shaped. So I'm trying to take some of this out, but I'm afraid it's drying too fast. So it's in. I guess I could use black, but That's the thing I was afraid of. That black's going to show up as paint. I guess that's okay. We'll just do it that way. But gotta let that dry, and then we'll give you some blood there. I am back to dubbing. Right now I am working on her legs. And this first one, well, they're both going to be broken, but in different places. This was quite a fall. At least for a Halloween theme, I'm going to make it pretty gory. Not not weirdly so, but anyway. Yeah. The I will be adding blood to these places later on, but it's not going to be like a whole big thing of blood because once the heart stops beating, this blood stops pumping. So it's going to have it, with a neck injury like that. More than likely, she was dead before she got to the bottom of the stairs. That may have probably broken on the way down. And, well, there would, depending on where the fracture is, probably were still some signals sent to if the medulla and all that was still intact, it would have still allowed some life still in the involuntary things like the heart and that kind of thing. But it doesn't look the way her. I did a big break on her neck. A lot of times, neck injuries are closed. They don't, they don't actually decapitate. I'm have her pretty well decapitated. So now we discussed the bones in the carpals, and when they do carpal tunnels and stuff in the wrist, that's what it is in those carpal bones, those little squarish bones. And now we are breaking it at the between the humerus and the I don't think I'm doing the knee there, maybe. On this other one I know I did, but the femur is the largest bone in the body. And right where that's broken, it's broken not really at the kneecap on that first leg there, um, maybe a little above it. So it would be like the femur would be the bone sticking out there. It's a very big bone. Now on the other one though, I'm breaking it at the knee.
And so I actually left a part of that at, separated it from the body, the kneecap. I separated the kneecap from the rest of the, and what I did there, I'm trying to see if you can tell because my hand's in the way. But yeah, the joint, the knee joint, I tried to make it look like a knee joint, even if it is displaced, or disconnected. But the patella, that's the kneecap. And so I decided, well, let's kind of let that fall off to the side because it's really just, I think it's just pretty much held there by cartilage, and well, the cartilage is what is under the kneecap. But I mean, it does move around some, but it protects that joint, is what it does, and keeps it from going both ways, keeps it from being double jointed. So I don't know if I'm giving you all this anatomy, but it's fun. It helps me keep up. Remember, I haven't practiced this for quite a while, but I am almost done getting her all broken up, and I will be putting her heels back on. The heels are broken when I do, but that's what happens to high heels. But now I did not. She has one limb that isn't broken, and that is her one arm.
Too bad she was such a pretty gal. Now you would think there would be puddles and oodles of blood. Maybe from the carotid, but at the, as soon as they're dead, blood quits pumping. So scenes aren't, oh, I mean, just from what I've learned, you won't see near as much blood as you think you might. If you want to try and be a little realistic, femoral artery would bleed some. Let's put it here. Well, it would bleed until she's dead. She's pretty much dead once she hits the ground. So it might spray out what's there, or it'll drain out what's there from gravity, but the pump is no longer pumping. And so that kind of helps determine if they died on impact or not. She pretty much did. Love you all. Smile and wave. There's yours. And get out there and share that. Remember, the best makeup you wear is your smile. And I will see you tomorrow, and we'll work some more on this.